Tom, another trip up north this weekend, and on the back of a victory, it must be a good mood in the camp this week.
Yeah, really is. I mean, I was a little surprised at one or two of the comments after the draw at home to Ebbsfleet on Saturday, but it's in the midst of a really good run. And you're asking me how the mood is in the camp after the victory on Tuesday. It's the same as it was before the victory on Monday, to be honest with you. I think the group are in a good state physically and mentally. There's no individuals who I'm worried about in terms of the togetherness of the group. So we're in a good place. And when that happens, you've got to try and ride that horse for as long as you can keep it going. Because we've all been in football for long enough to know it can bite you on the backside if you take your foot off the gas. So we, like you said, we're going up north in good fettle, but we're going to a club that are still in the playoffs chase. And they'd be looking to right their wrongs of this week. They didn't have a great result on Tuesday, but it's a blip in what otherwise has been a fairly good season for them.
You said many times, you don't get too high when we win, you don't get too low when we lose. Also mentions of roller coasters and what you will. I guess Tuesday night was kind of like that, wasn't it? Going down 1-0, but then turning it around. You must have been really proud of the lads' commitment.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, I thought Wealdstone come out the traps really quickly on Tuesday night and scored a good goal. I mean, we've looked it back, reviewed it with the players, and it's not just one player's fault. There's about 3 or 4 lads could have done something a little better in the moment. Didn't happen. But if my emotion was to go through the floor because we've gone 1-0 down, and then go through the roof because we've equalised or we've gone ahead, then it's not what I need. It's not what the group need. It's not what the club needs, and we've got to be on an even keel. At the end of the day, results are just imposters. Performances are really important, and I heard a really good saying the other day from a really experienced manager, and he says you've got to win, and then he says no, you don't have to win. You've got to win enough. And what is enough? What do you need to do to be successful? Obviously, if you're in a cup competition, it's win the next game. But if you're in a situation where we're not going to win the league, but we're going to try and finish as high as we possibly can. I've been saying it for months. Other people have knocked me down and said, oh, he's papering over cracks and stuff. But I believe this group is a top half and pushing for that 7th place. I think that's what the group is. And hopefully, if we can continue in the manner that we have done over the last couple of months, then I can't see us being too far away.
Could you argue the lads have been a bit more consistent this second half of the season? We've seen 2 very prolonged good runs, haven't we, without losses?
Yeah. Have they been a bit more consistent? I think we've been consistent all the way through the season. We were talking about the goals the other night. James Henry's first goal, it was the 3rd shot in 3 seconds on their goal. 2 of them were blocked, and he managed to deflect one into the goal. And then his second strike, there's about 15 guys between him and the goal, but the ball somehow finds a way in a straight line through all them bodies. Yeah. Before Christmas, that was hitting someone on the backside and going out for a throw-in. And that's the sort of, is your cup half full or is it half empty? Mine's always half full. Delighted that we got the rub of the green on them 2 instances I've just told you there. But there's lots of times this season where we've come off the pitch, having either drawn a game or lost the game by the odd goal, and I've thought, you know what, we've been that far away. So, like I said, I'm ever the optimist in terms of what I feel the group can achieve. And I set the targets for us as a group, staff, players, everything else. People outside, media included, can do what they want, but we'll be judged on what we set ourselves as targets.
Another 3 goals as well. Is there a big confidence in the group that, we've mentioned our scoring record this season, how good that is. Is there a confidence in the group that we can go into games outscoring the opponents and getting the points?
Never been an issue for me. There's not that many games this season when we've not registered a goal in the game. And somebody standing behind you told me a fact. I think we're only 5 behind where Stokes and Tolage got for Barrett and Henry. So, and another person in your field told me the other day that we're the 4th highest goal scorers in the division. So, look, if you were to take that screen off and have a look at the squad there, we are top heavy with forwards, and that's the way we want it, because it's the hardest job in the world putting the ball in the net. The more people that you've got in the building that can do it, whether they're prolific or not, there's obviously a little bit less of a load on the 1 or 2 people who play more of the games. So, like I said, we'll go back to your first question. The mood in the camp, the mood with the management, staff and everybody is absolutely buoyant at the minute, and we just need to keep going with that.
And you mentioned forwards, Tom. We've got another one through the door and a very familiar face. How does it feel to have Kwame back through in the squad?
We're really pleased. When we found out and he became available after the weekend, we felt it was a slightly different tool to what we've got. And he was very effective for us last season, whether he started games or whether he came off the bench. Obviously, he's not going to take a long time to settle into us because he knows us as a staff and he knows the vast majority of the group. So I'm really pleased that Kwame's chose us because he had other options in the division, and he'll be with us for the rest of the season at least. But who knows beyond that?